Welcome to Sunny Day Stamping. I'm Julie Baca. I'm so glad that you're here. Today we are making these really cute gift boxes for the holidays. They are so easy, very little measuring. I just break it down really easy, and so I think you're really gonna like it. I'm excited to show you how to do that. Before we get started, all the measurements for this are over on my website, sunnydaystamping.com. You can see the list of the supplies. You can purchase right from there too. When you buy with me though, I have a shopper rewards program. So for every $50 you spend, you earn a point. And when you accrue 5 points, you get to look through the catalog and pick any stamp set that you'd like. I'll buy it for you and send it to you. So just as a thank you for choosing me, because I know there are a lot of demonstrators out there. Anyway, let's get started. Look at this adorable little box. I just love little boxes. My mom also loves little boxes. And check this out. You can put little candies in there. You could even put a gift card. You could stick the gift card here if you didn't want to stamp anything. So, oh, and look at the little paper on the bottom. I love all the little details. Okay, let me show you how to do this. So we're actually going to start by doing our stamping, just a little bit of stamping. And I'm going to be using the Jingle, Jingle, Jingle. And this stamp set inspired this because it's got these cute little tiny images that fit perfectly in the little circles, and then these great sentiments. So if you can use this same design with other stamp sets, but if you don't have a holiday stamp set and you're wanting one, I feel like this one is a really great value. So I'm going to take the outline of the jingle and line it up on my grid paper, and then line up my, oh, my hair's on the way, sorry about that. Line up my block on top of there, and I'm gonna stamp this in black for the outline. And on these longer stamps, I feel like it's easier to bring the stamp pad to the stamp. I'm just gonna do this in a diagonal like this. I'm gonna take my chamois, wipe this off, and then get the inside of the jingle. You could color this with markers, or it comes with the stamp that will, you know, fill it in for you in one little swoop. Now I'm going to be using Pool Party only because it is going to match my designer series paper, which I will show you in a second. But you just line this up. These stamps are clear, which make it really easy to line it up on the inside of that outline. So now I'm going to take the All the Way, which is in this wonderful cursive, and put it right under here. Jingle all the way, and then we're going to put a little jingle bell right there, and it even comes with the little ribbon that ties the bell on there, which I think is so cute. Now we're going to take that same bell and we're going to use that in our circle here. So we're going to take 2 little scraps of paper, one white and one for the background, and I'm going to use my layering circle dies. If you have a punch, you could use that too. I'm going to use the 2 smallest. So this one is plain, and this one you can see has a little bit of a scalloped edge. So run those through your cut and emboss machine. So now we've got this adorable little scalloped edge, and then this plain one, we're going to put another bell right on the inside of this. And you know what? I'm just going to glue this on here just so I don't lose it. All right, set all your stamping aside. Now to make the actual box portion, you just need a half a sheet of cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5. But and you could leave it like that, but I think it looks so cute with the designer series paper. So we're gonna cut that first, and I'm gonna show you how to do it because sometimes it can be overwhelming to cut designer series paper. Designer series paper comes in these big 12 by 12 sheets most of the time. So sometimes it's intimidating to me to cut it, and because it's so beautiful and I don't want to mess it up, but I do want to show you this. This is the Sweetest Christmas designer series paper, double-sided, checks and lines and polka dots, and I just feel like this is so fun for the holidays. You get 12 pieces, 2 of each design, for $12, so it ends up being $1 a piece. So I'm going to pick this one, and we're going to get out our paper trimmer, and we're going to trim it down to 3 7/16. We're just cutting all the designer series paper for it, and the biggest piece is 3 7/16. Don't worry, the 16th is easy. You go to 3.5 and then 1 tick back. All of these little tick marks on this side of the line are 16ths. So we're going to go to 3.5 and back 1 little tick, making sure your paper is straight up at the top and the bottom, and then you can cut it. Now, this can be used for making 2 more boxes or another project. So now you're going to rotate this, and we're going to cut it at 2 11/16. So that means you're going to go to 2 3/4 and back 1 little notch. Now, all of these measurements are over on my website. There's a link down below in the description. If you're an email subscriber, you'll get this in your email on Friday. If you're watching this past the time I've released this video, but you still want this project sheet, you can sign up to be my email subscriber and let me know that you want this one, and I'll email it right over to you. Now, the rest of the pieces, well, the next several pieces that we're going to cut are going to be at 3 1/4. So we're going to rotate it back long ways. Line this up at 3 1/4. Let me double check myself. Yep, 3 1/4. And then slice. Now this little tiny strip, keep it. I'm going to show you what we're going to use that for. Then we're going to rotate this back through, and we're going to cut the top panel at 2 1/2. And now we need to make little strips for the sides of the box on the front and the sides. And that's going to be at 3 1/4. So we need 4 of those. And I'm going to use, I love this paper trimmer because there are measurements on the right side so that I'm not having to, like, see if I do like this. Now I can't hold it while I'm cutting. But on this side, I can. I thought that was such a great addition to a paper trimmer. So if you don't have a paper trimmer, this is a great one. They're only 25 bucks too. Okay, this is scrap. You can definitely save that. That's big enough for another project. Now, you've got 4 3 1/4 3/4 pieces. 2 of these need to be shorter. So you can see we've got 2 long panels for the front and the back, but these are shorter. So we're going to take 2, stack them up, and we're going to cut those down to 2 1/2. And this paper trimmer will cut through 2 of these, so that's no problem. And these are also scrap. So here we've got our biggest piece will go on the bottom of the box. This goes on the top, and these go on the sides. And this we're going to use for a belly band. You're also going to want to cut yourself a long strip of 1/2 inch, and we're going to layer this on top. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Actually, I'm going to use this side. Whoops. Oh, I'm having a hard time because I have glue on my fingers. Okay, there we go. We can set that aside for later. Okay, now get your paper trimmer back out and your cardstock, your 1/2 sheet, and we're just going to score it at 1 inch on all 4 sides. There we go. The last thing that we're going to need our paper trimmer for is we're going to mark the center of here so we know where to put our thumb notch. And my tip for this is a 5 1/2 inch sheet of paper. So you're going to line it up on the 5 1/2 nice and straight. And then 2 3/4 is the center. Instead of trying to line up your paper on the right in that trough, which you're like, where is the center of that? It's just easier to line it up on the left side at the 5 1/2 inch. Now we're going to go ahead and pre-fold all of our score lines so that they're nice and crisp with the bone folder. Just go all the way around. So after this, we need to do a little more folding. And so you're going to take the bottom of your short edge and line it up with that first score line, making sure it's all straight on the sides, and crease that down. You could have done that in the paper trimmer, but I just thought this was easier and reduces the amount of measuring. So now once you get that, you're going to rotate your paper around and do the same thing, the bottom to this score line up here. Now grab your designer series paper, and you kind of want to decide, you know, which side do I want up. You can even do alternating, but because I chose a red cardstock for the base, I'm going to glue them all like this. I'm actually going to start with this top panel first because then I want to cut out a thumb notch. Now I'm going to use my what are they called? These layering dies that I used for the front, I'm going to use to make my thumb notch. But if you have a circle punch, you could just punch it real quick. So I'm going to line this up I'm lining it up with that mark that I made. And just I don't want to get too big of a notch, you know, so just take a little circle out and hold it down with some washi tape, or I like to use little Post-it notes. Now, one tip, when you run this through your machine, you don't have to run your whole paper through the machine. You can just run it up to here and then run it back out. See, so you can see that took out a perfect little thumb notch. Now we'll add the rest of our designer series paper. Now you can glue the interior of your box now, or you can wait, but I'm going to do mine now. So you're just going to flip it over. This is going to be the top of your box. So you want, when you open it, for the image to be this way. So if you've got your paper like this, you just flip it over and glue it right there. Now the last part about putting our box together is to cut. We're going to cut along these 4 lines just to that long fold line. So we're creating some flaps. So there are 4 fold lines that we're cutting up to, stopping right at that long fold line. And then what you want to do, if you can see, there are 3 small flaps and 2 large ones. You want to leave the large ones nice and straight and perpendicular, but these short flaps, we want to kind of miter the corners so that they fold in nice. And you only need to do that when the flap is touching one of those long flaps here. So just miter these here and here, and then right here. And we're just going to repeat that on this side. The benefit of keeping these long flaps perpendicular, nice and square, I should say, is that you're going to be able to make your box nice and square, because you know that those have 90-degree angles. Now you're going to turn your box over so that you're looking at the inside, and we're going to start here at the bottom of our box. We're going to fold in these little flaps, put some glue, and then we're going to fold them up to those long flaps. What I'm wanting to do is I want to make sure that those are nice and flush and square, like that. Not like that. That one is a little off. Let's do like this. There, like that. Okay, now we're going to fold, we're just moving up our box. We're going to fold in the small flaps, place some glue, and then attach them to the long flap. So now you can see we're at the top at the top of our box. So we don't want to glue these inside. We just want to glue the short flaps. Now just test it, see if it's going to close nice. All perfect. And the thumb notch, it works good. Now you take your last piece of designer series paper. You don't need to even glue that in. It just sets perfectly down in the bottom. Now fill it with candy, gift cards, whatever. And then you're going to take your belly band. This is the last part. And we're going to just kind of center it up and wrap it around your box. And we're going to glue it on the back. But I am going to trim off this little piece here. And so we're going to put glue here, a little bit of glue here, and then a little more glue here. And then just line it up. Now I like to slip mine off. And now I want to press it down, and I'm going to actually fold it along those lines this way and then this way, just so it has a nice crisp edge. There we go. Now I'm going to slide it back on my box. Gotta make sure it's nice and centered because I made that a little snug. There we go. Now we've got our little medallion that we made, and we're just going to glue it right there. Is that adorable? Let me show you the other ones that I made. Aren't these so cute? These all use the same Designer Series paper pack and the same stamp set to get all these different looks. Let me open up them so you can see the insides real quick. Here's just some different ideas of what to do on the inside. I also put the belly band on the inside so you could see how it coordinates. I hope you give this a try. If you like these gift boxes, give me a thumbs up, man, and I would love to see what you make if you give these a try. Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Have a sunny day.